That should get a bit of build up, ideally. Not that there are any women left on the roster to be on it, but
this could be a nice thing. There's a new article up on the website, which is just me giving 5 thoughts about this year's Rumble.
Sure.
I think they're starting to build it, but there are some concerns. I think the one thing I am excited for, which I'm not sure how you're feeling about, is Johnny Knoxville's involvement.
Unironically, I think it's fine. I've never really had a problem with celebrities in wrestling. I really liked Bad Bunny coming in. Shaq in AEW was fun. Stephen Amell's always been down for it, and it seems like Johnny. I mean, he's designed to take a bump.
Oh,
that's him.
Well, this is why it could end up being one of their. So again, it's another movie tie-in, which they've gone heavy in. Obviously, with last year of the Backlash Zombies and the Golden Egg at Survivor Series. But this is like a movie tie-in that could actually work because they've got a guy who's famously known. His whole career has been like a bad stuntman, basically. He takes unnecessary risks to do stunts. I mean, he's the guy who famously broke his penis because he tried to backflip a motorcycle and did it horribly. So they've basically got a guy who's tailor-made to do a big bump. My prediction is they're going to do something along the lines of like a Shane McMahon spot. He'll go off some kind of tall structure. I don't know how they'll get him up to that point from being in the match, but I can see that happening.
I don't think so. I personally think... All right, let's book our own Johnny Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville in the Royal Rumble. Let's go.
Okay, he comes out at 10. Probably 10. You don't want him late.
That's a good number.
You have him in maybe until like
first third to like get the match warmed up, essentially. Get some things going. Yeah.
Sure. I'd bring him in at like 9 or 10. And I'd have him come out being pushed by other members of Jackass, perhaps Steve-O, Dave England or something, because he'd be being pushed in a shopping trolley. Classic Jackass, right?
Yeah.
And then you get him down to the ring, the shopping trolley gets out, shopping trolley stays there. Continue.
I see. I have a caveat for like how he could do his entrance. So obviously following SmackDown, it looks like they're going to be setting up his thing's going to be linked with Sami Zayn. I'd have it be so Zayn has come out first, then he's been thrown out the ring. He hasn't been eliminated, but he's on the outside. When they're pushing him down the shopping trolley, they push him into Sami Zayn.
That's perfect. I think it works. It works very well. Hit Sami Zayn, gets in the ring, and then just gets laid out by Omos or something. You know, someone big lays him out, and he just stays down for a while. Another person comes in, does their finisher on him, and he just stays down for a while until the point where he needs to get eliminated. And I'm thinking it's got to be Wee Man dressed as Hornswoggle. I think I pitched this before at one point, but I think it has to be Wee Man dressed as Hornswoggle somehow gets him over the top rope, and they both go out. Really, it should be a wrestler, but it probably won't be. I remember someone on Twitter, because the WWE are fighting for a Forbidden Door entry.
Yes.
We'll get to
that in a second.
MJF could.
I mean, the way I saw it when I first announced, and I put this on our Instagram, I could honestly see them doing a double whammy. So you have Knoxville maybe come out. He doesn't get massively involved. Like other people are fighting. Somehow the ring gets cleared and he's the only one there. And then you just have Kane come out as a surprise entrant. And you basically recreate the Drew Carey spot, except this time when he goes up for the choke slam, Knoxville comes down.
Well, he is the mayor of Knoxville County, Tennessee.
I didn't even realize that link. Aha. So that might be my prediction then. I think Kane will come out and choke slam him and then just yeet him out. And then Kane will be in for a few minutes and then get choked out.
Yeah.
Because you know what WWE like they're all about creating moments, but at the same time they're all about like yanking on nostalgia if they can as well.
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Bad Bunny comes back for the Rumble.
Guess it depends who's up to. If he hasn't got a tour or anything, why not? I'd be happy to see him. He could do something fun.
Yeah, no, I'd be down for it. Maybe it could give another shot in the arm to Damian Priest again.
Yeah.
So I enjoy Damian Priest. Not my favorite, but I think he's
Oh,
alright.
he's
I
a
think
good,
there's stuff
he's a
they
good
could do with his
wrestler.
character.
He's just that was always my issue with him. He was a good wrestler. His character is just really bland. The whole Archer of Infamy thing was just never that exciting, you know.
Which it's just words of nothing. It's like it's like
It's like the writers' room just had like a wall of words, like a word map that they would just use and shit to just come up with ideas, and just went Archer, Infamy. There we go. You can have that.
Sure.
I feel like how David Bowie used to put some song lyrics together, just scatter them around and rearrange them. That's probably what they do.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame. All right. Well, who do we think's winning? Did we make a prediction for who we thought was winning? Who did I say?
Bloody hell, I can't
did
remember
I say
now.
men? Did I say men?
I don't think we did, because we were discussing how, because again, I wrote about this in the article. It generally feels like it could be like more than ever anyone's chance. Because when I looked through the roster while writing it, I generally couldn't pick one person out and think they would be an odds-on favorite to me. Like I think a lot of the smart money would think Big E might win it back, but then given the title run, I'm just like I just don't know. And it depends what they're doing, because like I mean the big thing people have said at the moment is they think it's going to be Lesnar and Reigns title for title at Mania, but WWE have apparently said that won't be the case. But obviously things can change. If that does go ahead, then that means this year's Rumble is pointless. Like, really,
it's pointless unless Lashley beats Lesnar. Lesnar enters Rumble, which again makes it pointless. But you know, that's what it would be. That way they'd let Reigns. Oh, then I guess he'd have to win back that title. He'd have to win that title off of him.
The only way I can see Lesnar losing to Lashley is if Reigns costs him it, and then, like you said, Lesnar puts himself in the Rumble match. Yeah, it's a hard one to figure out. That's the issue I had, because again, if you remove Lesnar and Reigns from the equation and just think that they're not in the match, when I just look at the roster page, I just can't really pick out. I can usually at least pick out a handful of names every year where I think, okay, they could potentially be the winner. They could be who they're pushing. Don't get that vibe at all this year for any of the men's names. Similar for the women, actually. Like, I'm not sure on that one either.
Well, there's not many women there. They've had to ask Mickie James to come back. I hope they've given her a shitload of money. Preferably not in a bin bag.
Do you think this is actually them wanting to open a forbidden door, or do you think, oh shit, we haven't got enough women, let's see what legends we can get back? And they're just getting James back as like as if they're trying to like make it look like they're going to open the forbidden door, but probably won't.
It's not a forbidden door thing. They've just paid her a lot of money. She's probably not like fully signed to them or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, she's on the roster page again though, with the Knockouts title.
That's gonna be interesting. If she gets to come out with the title and gets introduced as that on live TV, on pay-per-view, that's cool and that's interesting. You know, I'd love to see someone like Moose come out again. And
yeah,
it's not going to happen. But
I think with this, the hyping up the idea of doing a Forbidden Door thing. But I think if they do get something for the men's, they're going to play it safe by just picking a former WWE guy, given how there are a lot of them now in Impact. I could a Moose would be a long shot, but I could easily see a Brian Myers or a Matt Cardona or a William Morrissey appearing.
I could genuinely see them getting MJF. I know that sounds like a long shot, but I could genuinely see them getting MJF. Because I don't think Tony would say no. I don't think he would.
Well, he didn't say no to Jericho being on Broken Skull.
Well, I doubt he'd ever care. I think to Tony, Tony is like is a kid with all of his toys, where you know he wants his WCW toys to play with his WWF toys. He wants that to happen. He's Tony Khan, so he wants his All Japan toys to play with him as well, and then also his ECW toys and whatever else. But I don't think that he'd mind too much. If anything, he may be somewhat positive on it.
Again, I think it's because of the different man. I think Tony will big up the idea of these two companies feuding, but I think ultimately he's a savvy businessman to know that, like, if WWE asked to borrow one of his wrestlers, he would probably do it, because I mean that's just more publicity for AEW. Whether or not they would actually mention the company on air, but at the same time, if say MJF came out and they didn't mention who he worked for, but he made an impression, people are going to Google him and discover what company he works for anyway.
I do wonder, you know, with how dwindling the TV audiences are. I mean, no one who's watching the pay-per-view doesn't know who MJF is, right? Maybe there could be one or two, tens of people at the live show that might not know who he is, right? But the majority of people that in the pay-per-view would probably know. It just depends, again, if they would then show him on TV after the fact. Probably not. It completely depends on who is actually involved in a deal of that type when it happens. Does Tony Khan get to say, okay, but he has to eliminate this many people, or you have to say AEW? Is that a stipulation that he gets to make? Is there a one-time contracted signing thing for it to happen? Or is it just MJF will pay you this much to show up at the Rumble, and that's it?
You got to think that Tony would basically try and cut some kind of deal where he's making sure he's protecting his talent, because if it was just the case of him saying, all right, he can show up for this amount of money and more or less let them do what they want, then that could easily be their way of just burying a potential talent. But then with someone like MJF, apparently they are very keen to bring him in, which is why MJF has been doing the whole teasing it in the CM Punk feud on last week. So maybe if he came in for this one-off appearance, maybe they would treat him a bit like special, just to make sure, when your contract's up, let's do some talking.
Literally every company in the world would be fucking insane not to be trying to hire MJF.
Oh yeah,
the thing I worry about that is if you know they obviously want him, but will they fucking protect him while he's not theirs? I don't know. This is all obvious dumb speculation, and most likely won't happen. But if there's somewhere I can bet on this, I'd put a $5 on it.
For him to show up?
Yeah.
I'll take that bet.
Here's what I'll do instead. I will pay the total StreamYard.
Oh, for this month?
For next, I suppose. Whenever the payment is in February, because it would happen on the 29th, right? When's the pay-per-view?
Oh, well, so the Royal Rumble is it's on the last Saturday of this month, so that's the 30th, I think. 30th for us, because it's on at like 1 in the morning.
All right, well, if he shows up, you're paying the entirety of StreamYard, and if he doesn't show up, I'll pay the entirety of StreamYard.
Deal.
Lovely.